The city was quiet that night, too quiet for a Friday. Rain fell gently against the glass walls of a luxury apartment where Sophie stood staring into the storm. Her reflection on the window looked like a ghost, pale, distant, and lost in thought. Behind her, the faint glow of warm lights couldn't melt the cold inside her heart. Her husband, Daniel, the CEO of a rising tech empire, had just left for another late-night meeting. Sophie knew what that meant. It wasn't business. It was her. The woman she once called a friend, Lara.
"You took my heart," she whispered, "and now you're taking my sanity."
Then her phone buzzed. A single message flashed on the screen. "Amago mind same video by Denstan." Her breath caught. Ethan, her ex-boyfriend, the man she once loved before Daniel, the man who disappeared from her life without a word, and now, after years, he was back. She hesitated, torn between fear and curiosity. The message felt dangerous, but so did the silence she was living in. The storm outside cracked the sky open with lightning as Sophie picked up her coat. She looked back at the apartment, her golden cage, and whispered,
"Maybe this storm will finally set me free."
And she stepped into the night. Rain poured harder as Sophie's heels clicked against the wet pavement. The city lights blurred like watercolor behind the raindrops on her umbrella. She stopped outside an old cafe, one that had once been their place. It hadn't changed. The same flickering neon sign, the same smell of coffee and rain. Inside, she saw him, Ethan, sitting by the window. Time hadn't dulled his eyes, those deep, searching eyes that used to see straight through her. But there was something new now. Pain. A quiet, buried pain that matched hers. He looked up as she entered, and for a moment, neither of them spoke. The sound of the rain filled the silence between them. Heavy, familiar, and filled with memories.
"Why now, Ethan, after all these years?"
Because I found out what Daniel did to you, and to me.
"What are you talking about?"
Do you remember the night I disappeared? You thought I left you for someone else, but it was Daniel. He ruined me, Sophie. He made sure I lost everything.
Her heart started to race. "That can't be true," she said weakly, but deep down she knew it could.
He stole my company idea, my investors, my career, and then he took you. He destroyed both our lives.
Sophie sat back, trembling. Memories flooded in, the sudden change in Ethan's behavior, Daniel's unexpected success soon after, the way Daniel's charm had pulled her in when she was at her weakest.
"So what do you want from me now?"
I want the truth to come out. I want him to pay.
"And if I help you?"
Then you'll finally be free.
The cafe lights flickered as thunder rolled outside. Sophie's hand trembled around her coffee cup. Somewhere in that storm, a dangerous bond was forming again, between love, betrayal, and vengeance. The next evening, Sophie sat in her car, staring at the glowing skyscraper where Daniel worked. Each floor that lit up felt like a reminder of his power, his arrogance, and the life he built on lies. Ethan sat in the passenger seat beside her, his reflection flickering in the windshield. Neither of them spoke for a while. It was the kind of silence that carried both anger and longing, the silence of two people who once loved deeply but now shared a darker purpose.
So, are you sure you want to do this?
"He took everything from us, Ethan, my peace, your dreams. I want him to feel what we felt, helpless."
Then we'll start small.
"You've been following him?"
For months. He's not just cheating on you, Sophie. He's laundering money through his own company.
"So what's the plan?"
We expose him, piece by piece. But before that, I need access to his private files, which means we go through you.
"You want me to spy on my husband?"
He never treated you like a wife, Sophie. You were just a trophy. Don't act like he deserves your loyalty.
His words stung because they were true. "Fine," she said softly. "I'll do it."
Then it begins tonight.
Later that night, Sophie entered her penthouse like nothing had changed. Daniel was home, sitting on the couch with a glass of whiskey, his phone glowing in his hand.
"Had coffee with a friend."
Next time, tell me first.
"Next time, you should ask first."
She went upstairs, her heart racing, her mind spinning with Ethan's plan. She knew this wasn't just revenge anymore. It was something darker, something that would drag her into a storm she might not survive. As she opened Daniel's laptop and inserted a small USB drive, she whispered to herself.
Let's see how perfect your empire really is.
And in that quiet penthouse, Betrayal took its first digital breath. Two weeks later, the cracks in Daniel's empire had begun to show. Anonymous leaks, missing transactions, silent panic within his company, and every night Sophie watched it unfold. One file, one secret, one lie at a time, but as Daniel's world began to crumble, something unexpected happened in hers. Ethan came back into her life like sunlight through a storm. They met in a quiet apartment downtown, his safe house. It was nothing like the luxury Sophie was used to, yet she felt strangely alive there. No marble floors, no security guards, no fake smiles, just her and him, two broken souls chasing justice, and perhaps something more. Ethan laid out his laptop, showing the progress.
"We're close," he said, his eyes locked on hers. "A few more files, and the board will turn on him."
Sophie nodded, her voice trembling.
And then what, we just disappear?
Ethan looked away.
"You'll be free, Sophie. You can start over."
She swallowed hard.
We, Ethan, you said we.
He didn't answer immediately. The silence between them was heavier this time, filled with old memories, unspoken feelings, and the scent of rain from that night at the cafe. Finally, he whispered, "Sophie, I never stopped loving you. Even after he took everything, I still thought of you." Her breath hitched, tears welled in her eyes, but she forced a smile.
You shouldn't love me, Ethan. I'm married to a monster and I'm becoming one too.
"No, Sophie. You're just someone who's finally fighting back."
For a moment, the world outside faded, the revenge, the pain, the lies, all replaced by the quiet heartbeat between them. Their lips met softly, like a memory trying to live again. It wasn't passion, it was grief, relief, and longing all tangled into one. But it was real. And yet, somewhere deep inside, Sophie knew this kiss would cost them both. Back at the penthouse, Daniel stood on the balcony, smoking, staring at the city. He didn't notice the reflection of his wife's secret USB flashing faintly on his laptop screen. He didn't know his empire was already bleeding from the inside. He didn't know that his wife, the woman he'd once controlled, was the one twisting the knife. But he would soon. Very soon. The air inside the penthouse had changed. Sophie could feel it. The way Daniel looked at her now wasn't with affection. It was with calculation. Suspicion. Like a man who suddenly realized his perfect world was being quietly poisoned. Daniel's voice was calm. Too calm.
You've been distant lately.
Sophie forced a smile, pouring coffee for him.
Just tired, that's all. You've been working late too.
He took the cup, watching her with eyes that missed nothing.
Strange, isn't it? How the leaks started right after my dear wife decided to become secretive.
Her heart skipped a beat, but she didn't flinch.
Leaks? What leaks?
Daniel smiled faintly, the kind of smile that made her blood run cold.
Don't worry, darling. I'll handle it.
He stood, kissed her forehead, and whispered,
You've always been terrible at lying, Sophie.
When the door shut behind him, Sophie's hands trembled. He knew. She called Ethan immediately.
He suspects something.
Then we speed it up. Once we release the files publicly, he'll be done.
Ethan, if he finds out before that?
He won't. Just trust me.
But that night, when Sophie entered her bedroom, she saw something that made her blood freeze. Her phone, unlocked, her secret messages, gone. and a small note on the mirror written in red lipstick, "Trust is a dangerous thing, my love." Daniel's handwriting. Panic hit her like lightning. She rushed to her purse. The USB drive was missing. She called Ethan again, but no answer. Then another text appeared on her screen, from an unknown number. "You chose the wrong side." The walls of the penthouse suddenly felt like a cage again. Only this time the predator knew exactly where she was hiding. Across the city, Ethan sat alone in his car, staring at the same message on his phone. He'd been tracking Daniel, but Daniel was one step ahead. For the first time, Ethan realized something terrifying. Daniel wasn't just fighting for his company, he was fighting for revenge. And Sophie was the pawn caught in the middle. Thunder rolled through the night sky as rain lashed against the glass walls of the penthouse. Inside, Sophie stood frozen, the room dimly lit, her reflection trembling in the mirror. The lipstick message still gleamed faintly. Her phone buzzed again. Ethan. But it was too late. A shadow moved behind her, and before she could turn, a cold voice said, "Ons daig, it did danser der mind or sanzi."
You should have stayed loyal, Sophie.
She spun around. Daniel stood there, drenched from the rain, his eyes burning with quiet rage. In his hand, her missing USB drive.
You wanted to ruin me? For him?
Her throat tightened.
And Daniel, please, you don't understand, I just wanted...
Truth or freedom? You could have had both if you trusted me.
He tossed the USB onto the table. It slid to a stop beside the gun he'd brought from his safe.
But now, it's too late.
Sophie's pulse hammered in her ears.
You're scaring me.
Good. Fear makes people honest.
Just then, a knock at the door. Daniel didn't move. The knock grew louder.
Sophie, it's me, open up.
Daniel smirked.
Your hero arrives.
He raised the gun. Sophie lunged, grabbing his wrist. The gun fired. The sound shattered the silence. Glass exploded. Ethan kicked the door open, rushing in. Daniel turned the gun toward him, but Sophie grabbed his arm again, screaming. The two struggled, spinning dangerously close to the balcony. Another gunshot. For a moment, everything went still. Then Daniel stumbled backward, a red bloom spreading across his shirt. He fell against the glass, and crashed through it. The sound of shattering glass mixed with the roaring storm below. Daniel was gone. Sophie stood there shaking, her ears ringing. Ethan dropped the gun and held her tightly.
It's over. It's over.
But as she looked down through the rain, she saw Daniel's body, or what she thought was his, lying motionless on the street below. She turned away, tears mixing with rain.
We didn't mean to.
He left us no choice. We'll make it look like self-defense.
But neither of them noticed the faint movement far below, Daniel's hand twitching, his eyes flickering open. 3 weeks had passed since that stormy night. The night Daniel fell, the news had called it a tragic accident. Sophie and Ethan had given their statements, cried on cue, and walked away free. But the guilt, it didn't fade. Every night Sophie woke up to the same dream, Daniel standing in the rain, whispering,
You can't kill the truth.
It was a quiet evening in Manhattan. The city lights glowed like dying stars. Sophie sat by the window of her new apartment, staring at her reflection. The world thought she had moved on, but deep down, she was still haunted. Suddenly her doorbell rang. She froze. Ethan wasn't supposed to come tonight. When she opened the door, a bouquet of white lilies lay on the floor, and a small black card tucked between them read, "Miss me? D." Her hands trembled, her heart stopped.
No, it's not possible.
She ran inside, searching the shadows, her breath uneven. Every creak sounded like footsteps, every shadow like his ghost. That night, she couldn't sleep, and when she finally closed her eyes, her phone buzzed. A message appeared. Unknown number. You should have aimed for the heart. The next morning, Sophie stormed into Ethan's office.
He's alive. He's toying with us. I got his message.
Sophie, we buried him. I saw the reports. Don't lose it now.
Then who's sending me these messages? He knows things only Daniel knew.
Ethan's eyes flickered.
What kind of things?
A secret, the USB, the deal you made behind my back.
He froze. Sophie's voice trembled.
You used me, didn't you? This wasn't about love, it was about power.
Sophie, you think Daniel was innocent? He was laundering money through his own company. I was just trying to survive.
And me? Was I just your weapon?
Ethan didn't answer. That silence said everything. That night, Sophie drove to the penthouse. She needed closure, or a confession. The crime scene had been cleaned, the broken balcony repaired, the glass replaced, but the storm was back. thunder rumbling like old ghosts returning. She stepped inside, and there, standing near the window, was Daniel, alive, breathing, and smiling.
You really thought I'd die that easily?
Sophie stumbled back.
Daniel, how?
Body double. You never looked close enough. I planned for betrayal. You just chose the wrong side.
She shook her head. You're lying.
Am I? You and Ethan conspired to take everything from me. My company, my life, my love. So I took something back.
He tossed her phone onto the table, showing a video. It was Ethan talking to someone over the phone.
Once she signs it, we'll leak the scandal. She'll lose everything, just like Daniel.
Sophie's face drained of color.
He used me too.
Welcome to my world.
Ethan arrived moments later, storming into the penthouse. When he saw Daniel, alive, his eyes widened.
You're supposed to be dead.
Sophie stood between them, tears running down her cheeks. Stop, no more lies, no more blood.
But the men didn't listen.
It ends here.
Sophie screamed as both men aimed, 2 gunshots.
Silence followed. When the smoke cleared, Ethan was on the ground. Daniel, bleeding from his shoulder, looked at Sophie.
He got what he deserved, but you...
No, Daniel, we all get what we deserve.
Weeks later, the news reported a mysterious double homicide. The case was labeled a tragic love triangle gone wrong, but police found one final clue. A small envelope, addressed to no one, with a single note inside. Love can make us kill, but guilt makes us live with it. So... is Surider Dali Tinderbau. City lights flickered through the storm, a single tear slid down the window, as if even the sky wept for them.